thousands of players, a huge medieval open world. Everybody has their own role and they go to war. This is Anvil Empires, made by the creators of Foxhole, and my god, does it look absolutely incredible. I thought it was time to bring some new development news to this game, because when it was first announced last year, I did make a brief video going over it, but we've had a lot of updates and we've had a lot of things that have come out about it since. If you guys want to go and see some more and up-to-date news on every single game that you can think of, go and check out Resonant Reports, the second channel where I break down things like Kingdom Come Deliverance trailers, the new Manor updates in bigger detail, and things like Space Marine, Hell Let Loose, and pretty much anything I'm kind of interested in. This, though, is the medieval version of Foxhole. If anyone hasn't seen Foxhole before, it is a world war game where thousands of players support supply lines, command resources, build bases, have ranking structures, and finally going to war. It is absolutely insane the way that they've made this, and whilst it's not a game that I've delved into too much because it's one of the most intimidating things I've ever seen, it has such a loyal and solid player base and has been around for years now. This game, though, Anvil Empires, is going to be their medieval variant, and last year they announced that they were working on it alongside Foxhole, targeted to support 1,000 players in a single battle and many more thousands across the world itself, because if you don't know, you can have battles in one area while, well, everyone else is kind of nonchalant and don't really know what's going on and living their own worlds in their own kingdoms. And this is a world that is constantly changing and evolving because of it. If you guys don't know how they've managed to do this, go and check out Foxhole, because it is insane and it still blows me away to this day, the amount of players that they've got running on this thing at one time. But Anvil Empires has not just been announced, it's also had some playtests and it's had some people that have been given feedback. Every week they're having tests, really involving themselves with the community and running through this already established fans on Discord from the huge success that Foxhole was. They've been able to bring over those veteran players and test this title out. There's hunting, cooking, mining, every role that you can think, trading between villages, having kingdoms and factions, whether you're going to war or making allies. Sure, eventually we get around to building these huge clans, but let's check out a little bit some gameplay of the early alpha stuff, the early stuff when it's just you playing on your own. Now, all credit here goes to Tacticat. Of course, this is them playing the game, but you can see just absolutely how huge this map is, all with so many different towns that players have set up. But the initial start is just as you'd expect from a survival game, gathering branches, gathering flint, berries, doing a little bit of crafting here and there, and then eventually being able to put down your first bits of territory, your first houses that you can settle in, and of course, slowly but surely inviting other people in with you. It is a beautiful looking game as well. It does give that kind of old school RuneScape vibe, but with having a modern day flair on it. Trying to make a game that thousands of players can jump into at once while still making it look like a 2024 title is going to be a tricky thing, but I think they're doing a fantastic job of it so far. Going and exploring other villages and going hunting with other people to eventually working out how you're going to work together, because you can just play this game solo within the persistent world, but I don't really think that that's where most of your fun is going to come from it. I think this game really strives on its player base, and this game strives on the thousands of people that you can meet up along with on the way. Coming into guild play, you get a good look at how this might work, how clans have worked in the past in a game like Foxhole, how you have these ranking structures and how you have these persistent wars where people are called in. But even if you're not part of a clan, you have a faction and you have a team that you join to fight these wars alongside them. So let's jump onto their website just to have a good look at what they're working on at the moment. This massively multiplayer game where thousands of players work together to build empires, wage war and conquer in a persistent online world. March alongside armies of players in massive melee battles and large-scale sieges. And of course we can see that in the announcement trailer a while ago. Thousands of players. All these people are real players. And it does have this unique top-down style, but as far as I'm aware, that doesn't seem to affect any of the combat or fighting. I think it might be a little bit different within Anvil Empires because it's not, using guns like Foxhole is. But I'd like to see how that is approached. We've got our massively multiplayer conquests. Takes weeks to play out. Wage war alongside thousands of players across the persistent online world with settlement building, sieges, and large-scale battles with up to 1,000 people. You've also got this whole economy system with medieval army logistics, establishing supply camps and logistic lines to keep players fed and armed. Battles are won not by the strength of arms, but require a strong economy and supply chain. And that can be done through gathering resources, building up this economy, or even raiding other people, sending out raiding camps, small or large forces in order to get things done. And this is now available to be wishlisted on Steam, which is something that I'm very interested in. Now you can actually join these playtests now because they're going on. The game is in a playable form and you'll see bits of gameplay coming out here and there because it's through this playtest. It's not open for everybody, so they will let people in when they are feeling ready. But I'm very, very excited to see what comes of this game. Siege Camp have a very, very good reputation. Foxhole has done so well for such a long time. And when you see a massively online game like that, that's stuck around for specific reasons, still bringing out updates. I think the naval update is pretty recent, but it's so goddamn cool. Being able to get on these ships and U-boats and being able to protect and attack areas with other players, of course, everybody having their own roles within these vessels. It's so awesome, and that's not to mention the online gameplay with this massively multiplayer online world. It's such a unique game. It's such a unique genre of games, and I think they can pull it off again with Anvil Empires. But let me know what you think down below. Make sure you leave a comment. But until then, I will see you in the next one.